server. We have got some great news. We did manage to get the 15C that I sent the settlers off for last night, so we didn't waste a whole 20 hours or 28 hours or whatever it would have been to send them there and have them come back if someone else settled there in the meantime. So yeah, that's great news. So we've managed to get the 15 cropper down. I'm just focusing. As you can see, I've got one of the wheat fields to level 5. This is so I can build the flour mill as soon as I have the resources available to do so. In the meantime, we're just getting all the others up to level 1. Once they're all to level 1, I'll just work on getting them all to 5. I won't be getting the one that's 5 to 10 straight away, for example. My plan is to get them all to level 5 before then upgrading 1 to 10 so I can build the bakery, and then upgrading the rest of them to 10. I haven't upgraded any of the iron, wood or clay just because it's pretty pointless. The additional resources it gives me per hour is nothing compared to the resources I'd get from upgrading an extra wheat field, because once we can get that flour mill built, then we'll be getting an additional 5% on that, and there's already 15 of them, and wheat fields are so much cheaper to upgrade than the other resource fields. That goes for the same once, because eventually I will obviously get these fields to level 10 once all the wheat fields are upgraded past level 10. We won't be building in this village the plus 25% buildings for clay, wood and iron, just because they take up space inside the village itself, which needs to be used for other things, especially if you want to start building great you can't build great barracks or a great stable in your capital, but there are other useful buildings that we can build in the meantime. Talking about the goals we set yesterday, so we did manage to get almost all of the resource fields to level 7. As you can see, I've got 2 upgraded now, an iron and a clay, and then after that I will still have 1 wood and 1, that's it, I think 1 wood, yeah, just the 1 wood field left to upgrade to get them all to level 7. So we've done pretty well against that target. It has been exactly 24 hours since yesterday's video, so we're not doing too bad. We have finished getting the city wall to 10. We have got the city hall built as well, so we can start hosting parties. We haven't hosted any parties yet, just purely because I've been using the resources to upgrade these wheat fields, and now all the resource fields, not just the wheat fields, but and now that the resource fields have been upgraded to increase our production per hour on the wood, clay and iron, we needed to upgrade the warehouse to make room for the resources we're earning. We've continued raiding. It hasn't, I mean, it's been about equally as successful as it was yesterday. We're up to 195,000 resources raided. So we have about doubled the resources we had raided by this time yesterday, though I'd have hoped by now to have increased that to, say, 150,000 resources raided today. Just based on what we did yesterday, it should be increasing every day, hopefully, as we build more troops. That hasn't happened. That's mainly because other players have begun also farming the farms near me, I assume, and the ones that I have cleared out have now been cleared out, whereas they had res built up in them for a while, which I was able to come along and take. We did find a whole load more cages. We found 2 lots of additional cages on adventures, so we do have quite a lot of animals now defending our village for us. It's not that useful, though it does really, at the moment, stop anyone with less than sort of 1,000 troops it being worthwhile them attacking us, because if they attack us with, say, maybe like 700, but if they attacked us with, say, 500 or 400 troops, they're going to lose 100 or so troops, and it's just, they're not going to get their resources back that they've invested to do that. So unless they just particularly wanted to wipe us out, it's not going to be worthwhile for them sending anything less than 1,000 troops. So there's not many players in our local area that we need to worry about. It also means that we can get on and farm other players who may still be active but not active too often, without risk of them having an army big enough for sort of a revenge attack. With regards to population, we have gone up massively. We are now 321 population. I think yesterday we may have even been as low as 164. So I think we've doubled our population since yesterday, which is great, and what I expected to happen once the residence was to 10 and the settlers had been built. So we are working the way I expected it to go. The unfortunate thing is, maybe because it took 14 hours for us to settle our second village, and also because other players have also opted to settle a 446 for their second village, we still haven't made it into the top 10 climbers. We are very close now compared to where we were. We've pushed up to the 1100, which is where we needed to be yesterday to get into the highest climbers, but obviously everyone else has climbed as well, and now it's 1333. That does end today at midnight, so there's still a possibility we can reach that target and get in there and get the highest climbers medal, but I think it's going to be fairly difficult. If we do come close, or it is going to be close around midnight, I will upload another video just to show you what's happening and how close we are, and then we can see if we get a medal, have a little celebration. But yeah, so it hasn't gone too bad. I haven't raided as many resources that I would have liked to today. We have increased our troop count. We wanted to get to 100 horses by today preferably, but we haven't managed to do that. This is because I have lost about maybe 15 horses during raids, so had we not lost any, we would be on 85-ish, but unfortunately that still wouldn't be 100, but we have increased it to 69, and we are going to start farming further afield once we have increased our horse numbers to 100. At the moment, a lot of the players who were still in beginner's protection yesterday are still in beginner's protection today, or they've extended their beginner's protection by the 3 days like you can do, which is fairly frustrating. There is this guy next to me in particular who I was hoping to be able to farm when he came out of beginner's protection, which should have been today at some point, but as we can see, he is still in beginner's protection, and he has also now joined FL2, an alliance, and they are sort of the sub-alliance or secondary alliance to the FL alliance, who are the rank 2 alliance and are the biggest alliance in the southwest area where my villages are based. So starting to farm one of their players, I mean, it's not something that we definitely cannot do, it's just something we should seriously consider may have negative potential impacts if we do start doing something like that. So it's probably something that I'm going to be looking to avoid at this moment in time, which is frustrating because we would have liked to have he's one field away from us. It would have taken 2 minutes for our troops to get there. We want that as a farm. It's slightly annoying, but chances are we'll be leaving that. This guy, however, has grown fairly quickly as well. Not as quickly as we have. I don't know how many troops he's going to have, etc., but we can work that out. We can send our hero across, and hopefully he hasn't leveled his hero too much. Before I do that, I will check his attacker's rank just to see if he's been leveling his hero. As much as I can tell, he could use gold to buy scrolls, etc., but most players don't do that, so it's not really something that you're just really unlucky if that happens. You have to take everything on a balance of probability. What's the most likely outcome? And chances are they're probably not doing that. But if you do get unlucky, then you've taken a risk. You just have to learn and live with these things and carry on, really. Our hero has gone up another level, not actually from any attacks that have happened. Oh, and we did find a small shield as well, which I'm quite happy with. This is the only item which gives, the only left-hand item, I guess that is, if I was facing that way, yeah, that provides additional fighting strength for the hero. So it's quite a good item to have. We'll be looking to get a sword to go along with it that also adds additional fighting strength and attack bonuses for certain troops. At the moment, preferably the Imperator's one. I think it might be a lance for them, but I'm not 100% sure. You can check it out. And but later on, it'll be the Sword of the Empyrean that we'll be looking for, because our hammer will likely have a 70-30 split. Empyreans and Inquitus Caesaris, that's what I'm going to aim for. That is what we will be building in this village here, our lovely new 15 cropper, and that is what we're going to need all the wheat for, basically. So what we have done is upgraded the marketplace in this village, not just to, we want to try and avoid doing things purely to gain additional population, just because in the long run that's not going to be the best way to play. So I have upgraded the marketplace maybe 1 or 2 levels more than it needed to be upgraded, just to send resources to my other village, just to push for that top 10 climbers medal. But it doesn't really matter too much. We haven't lost out on that much, and we have been raiding fairly well, so I felt like that we could get away with doing that. So we are constantly sending resources to the second village at the moment to try and build it up. It only takes 2.5 hours for them to arrive, so it's not too long to wait. It's a 5-hour round trip. It's slightly annoying, but as we've got it to level 10, once we do need to start sending across a lot more resources, we can set up trade routes and they can run overnight. So when we wake up in the morning, when we check the account at certain times, we can have and make sure all of the warehouses are almost full. Obviously we don't need to supply this village with wheat. I am supplying it with a very small amount of wheat at the moment, but that will eventually stop, at least from that spawn village anyway. Once we have additional feeder villages around this 15 cropper, they will be supplying it with wheat, but we can use the wheat in this village to redistribute to build, and also the resources we get in from our raids with our Imperatorus. We probably won't start building a barracks and a stable in this village tonight. I would like to get that done as soon as possible, though it's more important for me at the moment to get all the wheat fields to level 5 and get a flour mill up and get that at least to level 3 by this evening. That's what we're hoping for this village. It's not going to add a lot of population, which is annoying. As you can see, I think in the top 10 climbers, so the guy we need to take over next, he has 2 villages as well. His second village is a 15 cropper, so that's fair play to him. He has obviously done fairly well. He's managed to build up that population without the need of a different village. Let's check some of the others. What about this guy? Yeah, see, this guy has a 4437 as his second village. It's a lot easier to get that village up to 83 population than it will be for me to get my 15 cropper up to 83 population, just because you get additional population from the iron mines, the woodcutters and the clay pits. Not that I'm saying that I feel hard done by or anything. It's just that if getting a top 10 climbers medal was your only aim in the entire game, which it shouldn't be, because at the end of the day it's cool to get a medal in your first week of playing, but it doesn't really mean that much. It just means that you've built your population up a lot. It doesn't mean that you have a lot of troops. It doesn't necessarily mean that you set your account up well. You could have just upgraded your marketplace to level 20 and and all of your fields up, and you'd just be a massive farm really, and you could have 20 crannies and a level 20 forge. But those things aren't particularly useful. I've tried to stick to upgrading useful things. Hopefully, I think the foundations I've laid have set myself up for a good start to the server. I've got the city hall down. We probably won't host the first party until maybe tomorrow morning, purely because we don't get that many culture points for it at the moment. I need to upgrade. I really want to upgrade the residents in this village to level 20, so that I can have the palace in my 2 village. That'll enable me to build 3 expansion slots, so I can have 3 senators set up from that village. Senators are the troops you use to send to overtake someone else's village. The more of them you send, the more it reduces their loyalty. As you can see, my village currently has 100% loyalty. Once a village gets to 0% loyalty and you attack it with a senator, you will then take over that village. If you can send 3 senators at once, you can take a village down from 100% loyalty to like a 10 or 20% loyalty, I think it is, between those two, and that only takes 1 more senator to come along and take the village. If you don't do that, we can only possibly build 2 senators in the 2 village as the capital, which it will become, and 1 additional senator in every other village, because we'll be settling with settlers villages to come. So for the first 5 to 7 villages, I would think they will all be settled. After that, we will start to conquer. So we will be making village number 2 our capital. This is crucial because you need to be able to build the wheat fields above level 10, so you can maximise on those 125% the oasis we have around here, and the flour mill and the bakery, so we can host a lot of troops. We want to start building our hammer as soon as possible, even though when you start building, the thing is,